Okay, good morning again, everyone. This is Nick Petro at the National Weather Service in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the Saturday morning 11:30 a.m. update regarding Irma and how it may impact central North Carolina. So what you see on the screen here, I thought I'd first start off with a quick overview. And I've got the radar, I've got the satellite, and I've got the current surface temperatures. And right here in North Carolina, we're in good shape today. Temperatures climbing up into the low 70s right now. It's just going to be another spectacular weather day here in central North Carolina. And there's a cold front. The cold front that passed through here a couple days ago that gave us such nice weather that we're experiencing is sort of right along this line. Dew points show that very nicely as I put the change from temperatures to dew points. And you can see north of this yellow line I put on the screen here, look how much drier the dew points are versus the higher dew points on the peninsula of Florida. So anyway, that line is going to be an important player. That line, really, it's a front. As it affects, eventually lifts back north across our area to Monday night into Tuesday as it interacts with the remnants of Irma. We'll get to that right now, actually. Well, before I do that, let me show let me remove the temperatures and put on here the National Hurricane Center official forecast. And you can see here's Irma forecast to strengthen back to a 4 before it hits the Keys and then moves up into southwest Florida and moves north along the west coast of Florida and then makes that northwest turn into the southeast U.S. And essentially up into northern Alabama and then western Tennessee. And even that's a little bit further west. The very last few position points there are even just a tad further west than what we were showing yesterday. So, generally speaking, the further that track shifts westward, the better the situation evolves for us. But let me just throw some model data on here to kind of give a sense. This is the GFS model. The GFS, the European, all the others, they're all coming into better agreement now. So while there's some subtle differences here between this model I'm showing on the screen and the European, they're reasonably close enough for what I'm trying to convey here, which is timing for us in terms of impacts for central North Carolina. The arrows, by the way, are wind direction, so I'll touch more on that here coming up. But this is a forecast. The time stamp is down here in the lower right, and I know that's in Universal Coordinated Time or Zulu time, and as we go through, I'll make that conversion verbally here. But the background image is what the radar. It's like a proxy for where it would be raining, sort of what the radar might look like from a regional perspective. The circles are the pressure, and again, the arrows are the wind direction. So this timestamp right here is Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. And you can see the suggestion here that the very northern shield of the rain, light rain, I'll add to that, will be moving into southern portions of North Carolina. And I'm also want to call your attention to these wind arrows because they're still across us from the northeast. And what that's telling us here is that the cold front that gave us the nice weather we're experiencing now is still sort of aligned in this general orientation right there. So anytime that cold front's to our south and the winds is from the northeast, that should generally give us sort of more of a stable type rainfall, stratiform type rainfall during the day Monday. This timestamp right here, let me zoom in a little closer here in North Carolina. This rain would generally be fairly light, maybe moderate at times. This timestamp here is at 5 p.m. on Monday. So you can see, the rain will gradually, light rain I'll add, and remember that wind is still from the northeast, so it's more of a stable type setup. That wind, or I should say that rain, will be continuing to lift northeast and north across the state during the daytime Monday. Now, as we move into Monday night, you'll see this heavier band of rain. That's more moderate to maybe heavy at times, but also what I want to draw your attention to is, and I know it's hard to see in these wind arrows and these wind barbs, but that old cold front is now going to be sort of aligned, sort of like this. And almost like it's going to be lifting back north across us, almost like a warm front. And essentially what that's going to give us is that's going to, with the eastern side of Irma reconnecting with that warm front, that's going to set the stage for a band of heavier rain to move through central North Carolina during the overnight hours, Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's when we're going to see our gustiest winds, and perhaps even that may set the stage for the timing of our best chance to see these outer rain band, weak, brief tornadoes. And again, look how these arrows converge, kind of point toward each other. That's indicative of that warm front lifting north through the area. And right along that line, right along that boundary, is where I would expect to see the heaviest rain band, the heaviest downpours, and perhaps even that risk for an isolated weak spin-up tornado or two. That is 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. You can see that boundary is moved right across that boundary, and the associated heavier rain band is moving right across central North Carolina during that time. That's 11 a.m. Tuesday, and then finally, as we get into Tuesday afternoon, that's 2 p.m. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Tuesday, and then basically moving into Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Tuesday, and then finally that warm front's, that band of rain is going to lift north of the state by Tuesday evening. So let me back it up again, and the point I'm trying to make here is, turning damp, turning a little wet on Monday, but really the heaviest weather we're expecting, again, that is around midnight or 2 a.m. Tuesday morning. That's 5 a.m. Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Tuesday morning, 2 p.m. Tuesday morning, and 5 p.m. Tuesday, or 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, I should say, and then 5 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. So let me back up again, right in this period right here, which is late overnight Monday night into Tuesday morning during the morning hours and into the afternoon, that's when I would expect the remnant or what's left of Irma on Irma's east side to team up with that front and to push a band of heavier weather through here that could include some heavier downpours, some wind gusts, maybe up to 35, maybe 40 miles per hour, and we can't rule out a isolated brief spin-up tornado. So let me just run through these slides real quick, and just to kind of summarize everything I just mentioned. Here's the main points of the. Actually, before I do that, let me close this window here so we don't get any interference with that. And so what I'm basically trying to convey here is a summary of what I just laid out here. So wind impacts, gusts of 35 to 40 miles per hour, which could give us some isolated down trees and power lines. Isolated power outages are possible. It looks like that highest wind and best chance for down trees. The highest wind appears to be mainly west of Raleigh, but really anywhere along that heavier band of rain. Essentially all of central North Carolina could see some brief wind gusts. Again, the higher end of the gust would tend toward the west as it gets closer to Irma, and again, that's mainly Monday night into Tuesday morning. In terms of rainfall, when you add all that up at the end of Tuesday, we're looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain. And of course, if it comes down in a short duration all at once, real heavy, that could give us some localized urban and pore drainage, short duration flooding. The widespread or long-lasting river flooding is not expected. It's more going to be in the way of localized poor drainage, short-duration flooding. All of central North Carolina could see that localized flooding risk. The heaviest rain, the 3-inch rainfall amounts should tend more toward the areas south and west of Raleigh, with the least amounts northeast of Raleigh. Again, the heaviest rain expected Monday night into Tuesday morning. And it'll be damp before then as the light rain moves up from the south. So, and again, that tornado threat is all of central North Carolina, mainly Monday night. So let's get to a few more graphics here. Here's the latest on Irma, which I've already shown. Okay, this shows the what areas we think are going to get the heaviest amount of that rainfall. Again, most of this will fall when that heavier band moves through Monday night into Tuesday morning. So again, the heaviest rain amounts we're expecting south and west of Raleigh, with the lesser amounts 1/2 inch to 1 inch from Raleigh north and eastward. So again, that's the amounts. In terms of the arrival of tropicals of the winds, we're expecting again. I think it's going to be tied into that band Monday night into Tuesday morning. What areas are going to see the highest wind gusts? Well, this is where we think eventually as that band lifts north, the gustiness potential should gradually diminish. So again, we're expecting the highest wind speeds in terms of those gusts. This will come mainly in gusts, highest as you go south and west of Raleigh. So keep that in mind. And again, that could give us isolated down trees. The weaker trees, especially the trees are already leaning or half falling over already, and then big tree limbs. There could be. Don't be surprised if there's some isolated power outages. Here's the Storm Prediction Center, their severe thunderstorm outlook for Monday, and this again is tied into that tornado threat that I was mentioning. So let me wrap it all up here. I know this briefing went on a little long, but I thought that earlier loop and model data that I showed could help kind of give a sense of timing. But anyway, to wrap it all up in a slide, our confidence is pretty good that we'll see some impacts from Irma, and as it links up with that warm front lifting north. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour again could give us a few down trees and power lines, power outages. Not expecting a widespread problem. When you add up all the rain from Monday into Tuesday afternoon, probably looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain, highest south and west of Raleigh of that range of rainfall amounts. And again, the threat for tornadoes may exist Monday night into early Tuesday, as I pointed out earlier. And again, just to kind of summarize the timing, things are going to turn kind of damp, some light rain developing and spreading north across North Carolina, maybe a little breezy across central North Carolina during the daytime Monday. But the worst of the weather, when I say the worst of the weather, I mean the heaviest rain, the highest wind gusts, and that increased tornado threat should be Monday night into Tuesday morning. So anyway, that's a summary. The 11:30 Saturday morning update for Irma as it relates to central North Carolina.